Bada bing, bada boom. You know what it is. Geeks are back. We've got main card picks and predictions. It is UFC Fight Night 65 at the Apex. Main event, Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivac. An absolute brawl. Let's get into it. First fight on the main card. Top prospect coming out of the Aussie land. We got Jack Della Maddalena, 12-2, versus Danny Roberts, 18-6. I think they call this guy hot chocolate. I mean, this guy's got pop. Danny Roberts, very versatile striker. He sends strikes to all three levels. You know, he'll come up high, chop the legs down. Jack Della Maddalena is a dog, though. I mean, we've seen it last couple fights out. This guy's putting away guys like Emiv, which is just stylistically, you would think would be a nightmare for him, but seamlessly puts him away. This guy's got crazy, crisp boxing and power in his hands. This guy's a specimen. All right. This guy's so strong. That's what you're going to see in this matchup. It's going to be the first thing you notice is Danny Roberts doesn't look so strong compared to this guy, JDM. And I think that that's going to, really show itself in this fight. I think that the strikes that JDM lands are just going to have a little bit more of an effect. I think that his chin's going to hold up because Danny Roberts is going to throw some crazy shit he's going to have to, with do. And then I think that as round two comes around, JDM starts to get a roll on and a late finish. So I could see Jack Della Maddalena getting a late knockout, maybe end of round two, beginning of round three. Danny Roberts just kind of fading. The movement starts to slow down and turns into a little bit of a brawl. So that's what I got. Dano, what do you got?
I got a couple things with this fight. First thing is just don't think too much on this fight. I think this one's totally for Jack Della Maddalena. Danny Roberts just got outstruck by an old Francisco Trinaldo, pretty significantly too. Also, Danny Roberts is not really a takedown threat, averaging less than one takedown per fight, and he's got 11% takedown accuracy. So as long as Della Maddalena can stuff maybe the first couple, stick him up on his feet, like you said, he's got super crisp boxing. I think this will be a finish from Della Maddalena. And after the fight, little bold prediction, I'm saying that he calls someone out. If this is an early enough fight, early enough finish for JDM, he's going to call someone out he wants on that Perth card. Especially with a good performance, he might just get it. But I'm riding JDM inside the distance.
Let's go. He's minus 500. The return on Danny Roberts plus 345. Goosey, what do you got?
JDM, he is a certified dog, and I think that while Danny Roberts will give him problems on the feet early, JDM should have the better wrestling, grappling, and the power in the hands. I think it's going to be the difference because he does have good technical striking. He'll be able to hit his shots, and I think once he starts touching that chin, it's a matter of time because we were seeing Danny Roberts do the kind of drunk stumble around the octagon from some of those Trinaldo punches. I think a young, hungry JDM's going to be able to go in there and get him out of there. So JDM inside.
Let's go. Fishman, what do you got?
I'm riding the JDM inside. I'm loving it. The kid's a dog. I mean, he's hit a. I remember. I mean, this dude he could eat punches. He delivers punches. He's landing eight punches per minute. Let's go with him. He's a fucking dog. I think he's gonna get the finish as well.
All right, yeah, bet. Let's move into the next fight. This one's gonna be really good as well. This is a welterweight scrap. We've got Muslim Salikov, 18-3, coming out against Andre Fialho, 16-5. Last time we saw Muslim Salikov, it was a devastating loss. It was a pretty bad knockout to Li Jingliang, and that's definitely gonna factor into my pick here because Muslim Salikov is 38 years old, all right? And after a scarring UFC 281 of watching some guys that I had this concern with take some pretty nasty shots and break my soul, I'm not going to let this happen again, man. I'm not riding Salikov after this, man. I have to see him. Fialho's got enough pop. This is almost a 10-year age difference. Fialho is just going to be more elusive as these rounds go on. Obviously, I'm going to be scared in the beginning. Salikov's got these crazy, crazy powerful strikes that he's going to throw at Fialho. But I think that as soon as we can get through this first round, it's just going to be a matter of Fialho finding the right shot and Salikov's just age and and maybe that wear and tear just kind of leaning into a role in this. I could see another like TKO stoppage because the guy's tough and doesn't like to fall. But maybe against the fence, just a shell up. I'm gonna take Fialho round 3 knockout. I think he's live for it. I'm not taking too much off Fialho. I know his last fight he got knocked out by Jake Matthews, but I've got some really, really high respect, and I hold Jake Matthews at a pretty high regard right now. So I'm not giving too much from that one. So yeah, give me Fialho in this fight. Just the younger, more seasoned guy in a striking battle. What do you got, Fish?
I'm riding Salikov on this one. I wanted to ride Fialho, but I think Fialho, just based on the stats, I mean, he gets touched a little too much for my liking with a dude that hits this hard. So give me Muslim. I'm trusting him to land a couple of strikes that'll touch him up and get the job done. Muslim is a tough dude to put out. I mean, Leach, that was the first time he's ever gotten knocked out. So Leach, I mean, hit him on the button. And I mean, props to him, but give me a Salikov in this one.
Let's go. Dana, what do you got?
I'm with you, CEO. I like Fialho. I like him inside distance here, right? We got a 10-year age gap. A lot of times that favors the younger guy. Fialho, he came off that TKO loss, but Jake Matthews just was on another level that night. He was kind of like not going to lose that fight. Fialho, he throws with bad intentions. Salikov, we did see him, get put out. He has a history of a good chin, but when you're an older guy and you get that one bad knockout, I could definitely see it spiraling, and I just can't put my money on Salikov. So I gotta ride Fialho. I like him. Hopefully, he bounces back.
Yeah, another thing too is, a lot of people are very tentative when they fight Muslim Salikov with all the feints and all that kind of stuff. Like they don't really like go at him. But Fialho's a guy that I feel like is going to enter the fire, whether that's against him or not. He's going to enter the fire. So Goosey, what do you got?
Yeah, so this is a fight that I do see both guys landing shots, both guys trying to get the better of the other. And Fialho, while he does have negative head movement, it's because he's looking to hit you with the shot back. And if this is a battle of chins, I can't trust Salikov after 4 months after a brutal knockout. He is getting old. I think he's 38 or probably
Yeah,
even older than that. But I just think Fialho gets it done stylistically. Salikov's going to move a little bit better. Fialho doesn't really play games. He's trying to walk forward and hit you with some shots. And I think he will be able to hit some shots and crack that chin. So give me Fialho here.
let's go. We're moving into the next bout. We got a heavyweight scrap. We've got the Vanilla Gorilla Chase Sherman stepping out 16-10-0 against Waldo Cortez Acosta 8-0 from the Dominican. All right. In this matchup, off rip, if I saw it and I knew it was fresh fight, fresh camps, let's get it. I'm probably taking Waldo Cortez Acosta just because of what I've seen in Chase Sherman's last couple fights and just the power and this kind of like stand in the pocket, swing and bang that he's really elusive and good at for 3 rounds. But I just watched Waldo against Vandera, and I scored it for Vandera. I know a lot of people don't like to factor leg kicks so much, but when you're limping on your legs, I mean, that's pretty significant. When we're talking about damage, those are the most damaging strikes of the fight. So I scored it for Vandera, and this guy's taking this fight on, here we are, like almost less than a month, I want to say, from that fight, and he's just right back in there. I know Chase Sherman, we talked about it last week, when he was supposed to fight Parisian. This guy has a gym and a camp that we're really believing in right now. And for a guy like Waldo, who just got your legs banged in, like I'm not riding those legs. I think Chase Sherman, he landed 17 in his last fight. He landed almost more than 20 in his last fight before last. He's going to kick the legs again. So I think that Waldo's still compromised. And in a fight that I think he probably would win if they're both 100% healthy, I think Chase Sherman's going to get the upper hand. And I think he's going to land some shots. So I think Chase Sherman by like round 2 knockout in this fight. I think he's on a great camp. And I think Waldo's a little banged up. So that's where I'm at. What do you got, Dano?
Same thing as you, same exact thing as you. Full camp. I think this would be a different story, but I'm gonna ride with Chase Sherman here. And when we broke down Chase Sherman versus Josh Parisian a couple weeks ago, we talked about how much Chase has been improving in between his last fight and now. We've been hoping that his IQ was improving as well, and I hope, really, really hope that it shows in this fight because, like you said, the leg kicks they did show on Waldo in a fight with Vandera. He was getting chewed up. This is 2 weeks off from that fight, so if Chase Sherman can come out and maybe give him a couple fakes up top and then just leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, and just really like start chewing that leg up again, he's gonna start out with a bigger advantage in that category. So I'm riding with Chase Sherman. I could totally see inside the distance. Sometimes these short notice fights work out for fighters, but I don't know about this one for Waldo. We'll see, but I'm riding with Sherman.
Let's go. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm taking Waldo Cortez Acosta here, and I think that plus 160 for Sherman is a trap because, like you guys were saying, Waldo Cortez is the better fighter. And I don't think that his legs 1 month later are going to be that damaged. It probably wasn't structural, just bruising. And then a month's long enough to learn how to check a kick, because if that's all we're worried about, I think he'll be able to evade that or check it. And then if it's hands for hands in this fight, I think Waldo's going to catch him. So that's going to be my pick. I'm going to pick Waldo by knockout here.
Fair enough. Fishman, what do you got? No, yeah, I wanted to pick Waldo, but I don't think his power is in his right hand, and I don't think he's experienced enough in mixed martial arts or in fighting in general to deliver that. And I don't think he sets up his shots right. I don't think his movement isn't right, and it's just it looks awkward. He looks like he's throwing a baseball. I mean, I can tell. Like I've thrown a couple baseballs in my lifetime, and Waldo, he looks like he's throwing, and Chase is just he has more fight experience. So I'm taking Chase Sherman, the dog pick. I think Waldo is the trap pick.
Let's go. How the tables have turned. All right, let's move into the next one. We're going to 205. This is the co-main event. Ion Cutelaba, 16-8-1, coming out against Kennedy Njoku, 10-3. This guy's in the co-main event. Let's go. How did we get here, Kennedy? All right. Well, Ion Cutelaba, we all know what we're getting with this guy. This guy's an absolute psychopath. This guy's a ball of energy, a strong freaking bursting freaking flame of freaking absolute meatball. I mean, in this fight, it's going to be pretty simple. If Ion Cutelaba can knock out Njoku in the first round, I think he'll have some success. Obviously he'd have won the fight. But if he doesn't do that, Kenny Njoku is just known to just hold that freaking high guard and walk people down until they have no gas. And that is very stylistically poor for our boy Ion Cutelaba, who has proven time and time again to get very freaking tired in fights. So I'm going to take Kennedy, though, because for some reason his chin is really good in the last few fights, even though we've seen him get knocked out with shots to his guard. It's very strange, this world of MMA. But I think he's going to weather the storm, and I think he puts away Ion Cutelaba, who, probably even tries to wrestle in this fight. And, dude, wrestling Kennedy Njoku is so tough, bro. This guy's so massive. It's like trying to uproot a tree. So let me know how that goes, Ion, because you will have nothing left in the second round if you try to do that. All right, that's where I'm going, Kennedy. What do you got, Goosey?
I got that this fight will be just a shit show in the octagon, I think. Because both of this, like, stylistically, it's not gonna like mash. I think Cutelaba is going to be able to get the takedowns early, but I mean, we've seen Kennedy survive the Ulberg onslaught, which is looking better each fight. I think I don't see Kutalaba being able to knock him out on the feet. On the ground, he's durable. He's able to stop submissions. Danilo Marquez is a very good grappler that he was able to survive. And Kutalaba, I mean, he's had gas tank problems a lot. I don't see him fixing that. He's just a big guy cutting weight down to 205. And that's perfect for Kennedy Nzechukwu. So I do see him getting a round 2 or round 3 finish in this one. But it's not going to be like a clean fight at all. So that's my prediction.
So don't expect anything. Dan, what do you got?
I'm gonna just throw a shot up in the air, and I'm gonna ride with Kutalaba.
So that will do it. Ball wide.
He's been in the UFC for a long time. He's fought a lot of top names. He's still 28 years old. He definitely looks older than that. And like I said, he's been in the UFC for a while. He's kind of been growing up in the UFC. But I could see him maybe not wrestling his way to a decision, but I could see him just wrestling and putting himself in advantageous spots against Kennedy, just because we're up there at 5 takedowns per fight. We got above 60% takedown accuracy from Kutalaba. He is a madman, so I could see takedowns just in the ground and pound, which could hurt Kennedy, and then he just rips the neck and just maybe gets a sub off. But I feel like he's just such a force coming forward that maybe Kennedy can wear it. And I could definitely see him doing it because he is a freaking bull. But I'm just gonna shoot my shot with Kutalaba because he is a madman. I feel like he's due. But the problem with him is he is 16-8. He's got a lot of losses under his belt. He finds a lot of ways to lose fights. But he's got 16 wins. Let me get one more for Kutalaba.
Let's go. He's plus 145. Kennedy's minus 175. Fishman, you are the deciding vote.
I'm riding with Kennedy and Chukwu, and the reason being, I mean, this is a big motherfucker. I mean, he's 6'5". He's got, let's see, how many inches of reach? 8 inches of reach advantage. He's big as hell. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be hard for Kutalaba to get in and try to take him down. I think Kennedy pieces him up a couple times, but I don't know. I don't trust Ion Kutalaba in this one. Give me Kennedy.
Yeah, and you got to love Kennedy's camp over there with Saif Saud. That guy cooks up absolute game plans. So look for him to be controlling Kennedy like a Nintendo controller.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this main event. We got the big boys. We got the KO King, Beast Boy, Derek Lewis, 26-10, coming out against Sergey Spivac, 15-3. The polar bear, I believe this guy goes by. Man, this is gonna be a scrap and a half, and I think they're drawing this one up for D. Lou, and I think I'm a rider, man. I'm riding the D. Lou knockout. As weird as it is, everyone's gonna say Spivac's gonna take him down, do the whole 9 yards. You know, Derek Lewis, bro, he needs a win. He needs a win, and he's athletic. And that's where his advantage is, man. I think Spivac is good at getting takedowns. He's looked good, you know. But, you know, Derek Lewis, I think he lands a punch. I think this is a perfect recipe for him to land a punch. And if not, I think he can survive on the ground for a little bit and gas him out. So I'm not really thinking too much about this main event. I think that D. Lewis is just, he's due, man. Give me a nice KO from the Beast. What do you got, Fish?
Yeah, in this one, I think good things come to good people and people that try hard. And I think Sergey Spivac is going out there. He's grinding in the gym. He's grinding. I mean, Derek Lewis, I can trust D. Lou's out there partying, doing something, you know, but I don't trust him to be in the gym grinding. I've heard him countless times say, I ain't getting back into the octagon until I weigh 250. Never even comes close to that. Like, how do I trust a dude that isn't grinding in his sport? I mean, like, I feel like he's at the point in his career where he might have accepted that he might not be coming after the belt. He's not after the belt anymore. They just throw him in there, and he he doesn't train. Maybe I don't know what the situation is, but I feel like he goes in there, looks for the knockout, and or not, and he doesn't have a chin. And I think Spivac is gonna just take him down and just beat him up. And I'm riding the Spivac sub.
All right, fair enough. Dano, what do you got?
I'm down the same road as Fish. I think D. Lou, he's got a pretty hefty contract by now in his UFC career, and I feel like he's just coming to collect that that the show money, I guess you could say, because in this past couple fights he has been losing. I don't think he's got his eyes set on the belt anymore. In past fights, he has says that he does not want 5-round fights anymore. Too much for him. His cardio sucks. And I feel like if Spivac, a big ass dude, they're both listed as 6'3" on the tail of the tape. But Spivac, I feel like he's up there at 6'4", 6'5". He's a big ass dude. And you don't want him laying on top of you. I know D-Lou's got pretty good history of just being able to stand up from the bottom position, but he's also one of those guys where it's kind of fitting for the Knockout King name, but he's kind of always losing fights until he lands that one knockout punch. And if he can't, he kind of just, I could see him fading. So Spivac, again, we got a 10-year age gap. Again, that favors most of the time, that favors the younger fighter, putting him in a good spotlight against a good name in a good position of a headlining main event. I think this is gonna go Spivac's way, but don't be surprised if we do see a knockout.
You don't get it yet, do you? I just gave you opportunity of a lifetime, brother.
Man, you guys are killing my vibe, bro. I don't even know anymore, dog. Goosey, what do you got?
In the past, I think that this would be a perfect spot for a Derek Lewis knockout, but these past few fights have not been so kind to him. He doesn't look the same, and Spivac, he's a little bit different animal, he's a big boy and he can really grapple and he has good cardio to go with it. Derek Lewis, he likes to catch people on the way in. The way Spivac shoots takedowns, he's getting you in the clinch. He's toppling you over from the top. And I think he's going to be able to smother Derek Lewis on the ground. If D-Lou isn't in the best shape that he's been in, and I don't think he will be, it's going to be tough for him to deal with. And I see Sergey Spivac getting the round 2 TKO from ground and pound.
Fair enough.
Ground and pound. Give me a break.
All right, those are the picks and predictions. That's the main card. UFC 281 was last weekend. Alex Pereira and new. Let's go, fellas. Get after us. Instagram, Twitter, Discord, YouTube. Let's go. Peace.